Hi, I'm the host of the STO Smokers Lounge. I'm here to tell you about Anchor, the perfect app that you can use right now to start your own podcast network. You can broadcast right now. All you got to do is download the app, whether you have a phone, iPad, or even a laptop or desktop. You can right now download Anchor or go to Anchor FM right now and start recording and have your stuff broadcasted over multiple platforms such as Spotify. So go to Anchor today and start your podcast career like I have. Because trust me, I love me some Anchor. Uh, Hello?
Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
Good. It took me a couple minutes to figure this out.
Yeah, you're not the only ones who do not feel so bad, Miss Lady. How you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. It has been a minute since I have actually talked to you, seen you in the whole nine. For some of my listeners, I done shot with this young lady, um, and I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that. That was a hot scene. I ain't even going for it.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, and the face you made was amazing.
I think that's what's gotten me this far as my phases.
Yes, you make some very hot sex faces for real, for real. And and like I said, just the way that you work on camera, your stuff look good. I mean, from the time we hooked up to now, you have done a lot.
Yes, I have.
You have done a lot, and we're going to get into that. I got to do my usual before we get into it, if you don't mind. Hello, how y'all doing, listeners out there on Spotify, wherever you listening to this podcast? Hello, how you doing? This is the Smokers Lounge, brought to you by Anchor, the perfect app for anyone that's trying to start their own podcast. All you got to do is download the app on your phone, Android or iPhone, or just go to anchor.fm on your laptop or iPod and start podcasting today and be distributed on multiple platforms that distribute podcasts. I am your host, Kavanaugh, the Southern Champ, aka the Porn Rap Star, as the name in the moniker states. I do porn, I do music. So check out my music, check out my porn. Also, follow me on social media at allmylinks.com/porn rap star to find me everywhere that I'm at for my music, my porn, and my social media. We are sponsored by the Facebook of the LS community. I'm talking about lsworld.com. Go ahead and get yourself a profile today. You know, interact with like kink minded selves. Yeah, interact with people like-minded like yourself, they're into the same kink as you. Also, they also have a list of events that you might attend in your area, so you can find other people like yourself. So go to lsworld.com today and get yourself a profile. Also, we're a proud member of the GW District Black Podcast, which me and 14 other podcasts that are ran by Black people, you can go listen to right now. Plus, on while you're there, you can also choose from over 1,000 Black sellers. I'm talking about fashion, beauty, health, books, wherever you name it, you will find it there, and it's Black owned. So buy Black, support Black businesses, help build the Black economy so we can create generational wealth. So go to shopgwdistrict.com today. And I'm about to step out the way and let this sexy woman introduce herself. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Princess Gemini. I'm an award-nominated fetish model and alternative lifestyle event host and promoter from Boston and Las Vegas.
So now you're originally from Boston.
Yes.
No, and now how is the lifestyle scene in Boston different from that of Vegas?
All right. So the kinky swingers are not as existent in Las Vegas as they are in the New England area. The New England
Really?
area, yeah, the New England area is saturated with swingers, BDSM, fetish, kink, all that stuff. My parties combine all of that. So I call them kinky swingers.
Mm,
And you get the vanilla swingers out here, the ones that go to the dance parties, kiss and touch, and then go home and fight because their man kissed this girl or whatever.
yeah.
Those are big out here. But the parties that I hosted are not big out here. They don't have a
Hmm.
lot of, they don't have a lot of, they're not, they think they're open minded out here, but they are not as much as New
Hmm.
England. So
Yeah.
I'm going to bring that out here. I'm bringing some people from New England in June to
Mm.
help me show them how it's actually
Supposed to
done.
be. Yeah. So, when you do your parties, how do you pick the people that attend the party, and what goes down within the parties?
So normally my parties are at big clubs and they're open invite. So we have a dance floor in one part of it, and then we have closed off private play areas, a dungeon area. Some dominatrix come in and they'll work on people, and then sometimes we have other models come in and do gangbangs and stuff like that. So back in Boston and New England, it was a more like everybody was welcome time type thing. But here in
Hmm.
Las Vegas in June, I'm doing different
Hmm.
because what I was told by the swingers is you can't do porn if you're a swinger. What I was told by the porn when I started getting into porn, you can't be a swinger, so don't let anybody know you're a swinger. And then I'm
Hmm.
watching all these OnlyFans people trying to get into it, not signing their 2257 forms. And I was like, wait a minute. Watch me pull off what everybody told me I can do. So I'm calling the
Hmm.
OnlyFans people to show them how to do it correctly
Hmm.
because out here it's a little dry in the area with the BBCs that will fuck BBW on camera. So
Yes.
I was like, and they're all using Twitter as a platform. Nobody's using FetLife out here. So that's the other
Hmm.
thing. FetLife's big in New England. It's not big on the West Coast. They don't know how
Yeah.
to use it or they get
No.
frustrated with it. So I looked at a few of the other promoters and producers out here and I was just like, you have to use me as a recruiter and let me do it this way, and you'll find the people you guys are looking for because I have them. I have the real kinky freaks, the girls that love to fucking get pissed on. I have all
Hmm.
those fucking girls. They come to my fucking parties, and they're like, but they don't like to get. Yeah, I'm looking at them getting the girls that don't like to be peed on, pretending to get peed on. I'm like, that's boring as fuck because I got the girl that will come
Yeah.
and
As you do the
enjoy
shit.
it and splash around in it. I'm like, I got the real kinky freaks. Let me bring them to you, and your shit will start selling better.
Now, what's
Because
interesting, you said that the porn people were saying that you can't be a swinger and do porn, but then the
they told
swinger
me,
said you can't be a swinger and do
yeah,
porn.
I've
Okay.
been told by multiple people I cannot mix the two communities.
Okay,
Watch me.
because I do remember, because I know how Hollywood works. That they like to, which is funny. I just did an episode discussing this shit. This is funny before I talk to you. That they like to separate shit, gay porn from straight porn, uh, BDSM from this. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And I want you to speak upon how that is how that sentiment doesn't work in this day and age.
Oh, well, yeah. So what I do is alternative lifestyle, which includes the LGBT community, the poly community, the swingers, the kinksters, the BDSM, and technically, I believe the porn industry should be included in the alternative lifestyle community thing
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
even though the swingers are judging the porn people and the porn people are judging the swingers, the civilians are all judging us all the same. So
Basically.
like really, let's work together. And all that takes is everybody to get talent tested. So from now on, you have to get into my parties, you got to be tested.
Mm-hmm.
And even if it's a doctor's test with a panel that you can log into in front of me, that you move it up and down and I can see it's not scanned, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
To get into my parties, you need a test. So right then and there, that drops off half the swingers that refuse to go get a test.
Yeah.
And then that makes the industry people be like, okay, so I got a lot of people interested in this.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm. So to the, they say the old heads, they were like, well, why don't you keep it separate?
yeah, why don't I keep it separate? Because I don't think it needs to be kept separate. And someone told me that I would have to keep it separate. And when you tell me I have to do something or something can't be done, even as forever.
You make me want to do it more.
Yeah, my parents did that as a kid, and to me as a kid, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
really? And now I've got all these other party promoters and producers saying you can't do it, can't do it. Watch me do it.
Mm-hmm.
But it is separate out here
But I
because
would think that that would be a natural transition, be it that you a swinger and porn. I think it would be a marriage making heaven because one, it's a lot you can pull from the swinging community because there's a lot of
yeah,
people with filming to begin with.
right.
You know,
If you
period.
get it from the kinky swingers, because the very vanilla swingers, they don't want to be caught on camera. They don't want anybody to know that they got this going on.
Oh, hey, sorry we got cut off.
It's all right.
No, it's all
Sorry about
good.
that.
Now back to what you were saying about what we were talking about. What I was saying when people were saying about when we were saying about keeping it, keeping it separate. Because to me, I would think it would go hand in hand. To be honest with you.
Yeah, but you got the older industry people that are not ready to let some of the kinks in, like
Mm-hmm.
the transgender community and stuff like that. I was asked to keep the transgender community out of my first event
Mm-hmm.
because I was bringing in some other producers that weren't ready for it yet. I'm gonna
Yeah.
slowly work that in, and they're gonna get used to the fact that that's what's at my events.
Which I know that because I was talking about when people don't realize how major it was when Brazer shot his first transsexual scene. Because Brazer was never known for, well, actually not only shot his first transsexual scene, it shot his first BBW scene with Sophie Rose.
Yeah, that's a goal of mine. I want to get on there.
Yeah, so it's kind of like I told people, I said, one, you gotta realize that the mainstream is not making the money that they used to make. So they have to change stream in order to continue to keep up with what's going on because let's just be frank, the amateur sector is killing it right now.
Right.
Period. Can you speak upon to that?
The mainstream and the amateurs?
Yeah.
I still consider myself amateur, even though I've worked with like Plumber Pads and BBW
Mm-hmm.
Highway and Just Models and Pure BBW. I still consider myself amateur because that's fake. What everybody got before from me was real.
Mm-hmm.
Like, our scene was more real than staged and faked and put in these crazy positions that I'm like, what the fuck? This doesn't look right. Doesn't look right. It hurts. Like, our scene was a lot of fun, but like I've worked with
Yeah.
others, and, like the positions they put me in. I'm a fat bitch, and you try and make me do it back then. Like, it's hard. But I feel more amateur people can relate more because it looks more real.
Mm-hmm.
It's not staged, and they can easily put themselves in that position.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because that's one thing I did want you to speak to was the difference between the amateur shoot, an amateur style shoot versus a pro style shoot.
An amateur style shoot is you don't get a lot of the penetration viewing, and
Mm-hmm.
it's more laid back. For me, it's more me just hanging because I'm a swinger. My amateur shoots are me hanging out with my friends and we're having fun. And
Mm-hmm.
you get the scene, you don't get the close-ups like you would in a professional shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time, the cum shot's real in the amateur scene compared to some of the professional shoots. All my cum shots in my professional
Mm-hmm.
shoots have all been real. So I've never
Don't.
had that issue. But
Mm-hmm.
most cases, you go to the professional shoot and syringes.
Mm-hmm.
And so they want like 20 to 25 minutes for the professional shoots. So they'll be like, here, do 5 minutes doggy, 5 minutes cowgirl, 5 minutes reverse cowgirl, 5 minutes
Mm-hmm.
blowjob, whatever it is. So it's timed, and it's not like with amateur you go right through, but it's
Mm-hmm.
stop and go with the professional, and then they want the certain angles, so you got to be in that position for like 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's harder and a lot more
Yeah,
work.
to me, I think it's a me shooting that style is a turn off because the worst thing you do is stop the action, especially when they're getting into the groove.
Right.
Period. Because I hate when they do that. They be like, "Hey, stop! Okay,
Yeah.
hold it."
I sometimes I can get into the groove
Yeah,
depending on who I'm working with. Like Mr. Mysterious, since when I work with him a lot,
yeah,
was a lot like our shoot because him and I are friends and we like vibe and it's like whatever, we can just go right through and we've never had to stop. He knows I'm deaf, he knows how to flip me over, he knows
yeah.
how to work with me to get me to do the angles he needs. So it's
Mm-hmm.
just we go right through because we vibe so well, it's just easy to shoot compared to
Mm-hmm.
other people where they want certain angles and then they need a break.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the worst part. Is when they need there's 2 minutes left of the fucking shoot and they need a fucking break. Really? It drives me.
Shit,
That's
man.
when I get mad. I'm like, we got 2 minutes left. Really? You need a break now? Fucking go push through the fucking cramp because my back's been hurting the whole time in this position.
Mm. Shit, because I ain't even going front. I hated that we didn't get to shoot a second scene when we hooked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
We've been trying
because
for like 2 years, almost 3 years now.
yeah, I know. Oh, we gonna hook up and shoot. Trust me on that. Believe that. Because like I said, because people don't realize chemistry has a lot to do with this business,
Yeah.
and if you don't have good chemistry with your co-star, it's not going to vibe well or look good on camera. Can you talk about that a little bit?
That's why I put tequila in my water bottles. It helps me get chemistry.
Yeah, weed works for me too, baby.
Weed works the same way too. Yeah, true.
Yes,
No,
sir.
yeah. Well, for me, really, for the chemistry part, I know who I can and can't work with. And
Hmm.
if the person is a trigger for me, or if it's just their vibe is off, I will stay away from that person because it's
Hmm.
just easier that way. There's no point in trying to fake it because you can tell them I
Hmm.
cannot fake it.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Um,
believe that. I believe that 100%. So, like I said, be it that because I also admit your husband will have it, being that a swinging couple in the business, do you think that helps you more in the business, being that you and your husband are swingers, versus if y'all were just a normal, let's say, couple and you were doing this business?
so I think being a normal couple as a swinger couple, you're gonna come into this business the same way because
Hmm.
even though it took my husband a little while to realize it was business because
Hmm.
as a swinger couple he's now thinking we used to play together, now you're going and fucking whoever so and so and I'm at
Hmm.
home doing whatever.
Hmm.
And as a swinger couple that kind of probably fucks with your head a little bit because you're stuck at home
Hmm.
and you don't get to go have fun and whatever. But then when his first experience being able to be on set was at Mr. Mysterious's content event, and that was probably the best thing for him because he got to
Hmm.
actually see how a shoot plays out, to see how it's stop and go, to see how the cameraman works, and that's when he was like, "I want to be a cameraman." So now he's got
Hmm.
all the professional equipment now to be a cameraman, and he's been
Hmm.
doing my shoots and stuff. So he realized because there was a part of a scene that he was watching, and
Hmm.
the guy made a move and he knew I didn't like my husband knew that was a position or a move I didn't like, and he said to the guy next door whose girl was also in the scene with me,
Hmm.
and the guy basically was like, this is what it's the work, if you can't deal with it you shouldn't be here to watch it. And I think that he needed to be told that, and it clicked with him
Hmm.
because then after it's been easier, and this was all the way back in October, so since then it's been so
Hmm.
much easier for him to understand I'm going to work. He knows it's not fun for me if my head somewhere else, and he knows it's whatever. But now he sees that I'm really only shooting with the people I consider friends. So it's not me going to shoot with everybody. It's now, and now these same people are willing to work with him and pull him in and teach him the ways to do the camera, the angles and stuff like that. So it's become more of like a king swinger network, the people I'm working with out here, because I'm not just going and working with everybody. So I think that has helped with his mindset too a little bit.
And also, I see that also y'all are kind of building a community within the out there to a certain extent with swinging and porn. How important of having a community and people surrounding you that does this business help your business?
Having a community is good because everybody can network with each other. And that is the best way to make this all work. Because if you don't have that community, everybody's competing with each other, and nobody's not going to want to work with each other.
True that.
It's kind of like the best way for me to look at it is having the community and like the team and the network to fall back on. You have the older promoters that are producers in the industry. And they can be like, no, don't do that, do this. And you have somebody to bounce questions back and forth with. But like, for example, the BBW industry out here is awful. Like, not a lot of work together, and there's a lot of jealousy. But that's because, and these guys are probably all going to hate me when I say this, and I don't even care because I said it to their faces, because you got a limited amount of guys that want to work with BBW out here, but they'll fuck them off camera. Or they'll say, it can be a POV. I don't want anybody to know whose face is behind the dick, and we can do that scene. For me, I'm not going to work with anybody that tells me that, because I know I can go get my own dick somewhere else.
Okay, then. Now, with that being said, speak to the difference between the male times on the East Coast versus that of the West Coast, because I noticed that happens a lot with the West Coast talent.
The West Coast talent has an image they want. Okay, the West Coast talent is more, their image is more fake, and they need to have that image. I've had West Coast talent, very well-known West Coast talent, hit me up because they heard how good I suck dick. Want to suck my dick? And I said, "Oh,
you do a very good, great job, Bob." Yes,
thank you. That went around real fast, so the whole United States knows that now. They hit me up and they're like, "I need my dick sucked," and I'm like, "Oh well, I'm not tested." He goes, "It's okay. I don't want it on camera anyways." Okay, well then you just, any opportunity for that to ever happen is not going to happen.
See, because I find that, because that's why I tell females, when you do your content and trade, pick male talents that shoot your type. Because if they do not shoot BBWs, it's not going to benefit you, whether you paid him for the shoot or even with content trade, because you're not going to steal his fan. You're not going to get nothing from his fan base.
Right. And that's kind of what I was telling to some of the other producers, right, is they're saying they're looking for guys that come to these content events that fuck BBWs. I have them. You guys are looking on Twitter for these guys that fuck BBWs. They're obviously not on Twitter. Know where they fucking are? They're on FetLife. So that's kind of why I'm doing my event out here this way. I'm pulling the industry and the people from FetLife. You guys are looking for these people. Here these people are. This is how FetLife works. You're looking for them, but you're looking for the fake girls on Twitter that don't want to fucking do it. Get the fucking kinky girls that enjoy it, and your shit's, it's going to be better. You'll have more fun. They'll have more fun. And that's kind of what I'm trying to get across to them.
Yeah, because it's like, it's funny, even when I look at the BBWs, they break their neck to go shoot with a guy that would never shoot with them in a heartbeat.
Right. No, I can tell they don't want to work with me, and I don't want to work with them. So that's why I've even, And then the other thing, not talent-wise or industry-wise, guys fuck better on the East Coast than they do on the West Coast, and I've told them all that.
You heard that? You heard that, people?
The BBC fuck better on the East Coast than the West Coast. The dick is better on the East Coast and West Coast.
Most definitely. So now, since we're talking about shoots, I always talk about pre-care. And what pre-care is the things that male talents and producers do before the shoot to help the lady relax, calm her nerves, get her mind right, body right for a shoot. What is some of the pre-care that that helps you, that male talent and producer alike can do to help you be prepared for a shoot?
To be honest with you, Mr. Mysterious is the only one that took the time to like. Well, you took the time too, but since moving to the
Mm,
West Coast, like you
yeah.
and I talked, and you answered all the questions, and you let my husband. You were the first one to let my husband come in and sit through
Mm,
that also. But that one,
yeah.
I think he was kind of nervous on because that was the first shoot. But out here, Mr. Mysterious is the only one that's asked questions and like was like okay to calm me down and like okay that I had anxiety and stuff like that. Nobody
Hmm.
else does really pre-care. Nobody does.
Hmm. Hmm.
But they don't for BBWs anyway.
Yeah. Because I tell people it was like I did an episode breaking down the history of BBWs, and it was deep. And like I tell people, bottom line, they didn't want BBWs to sit at the table when it comes to porn. Let's be frank.
Right.
They
They still
still
don't.
give the AVN award off camera.
Do they
You
really?
know, yeah, actually, yes, because they do the show on Showtime. They always show it on Showtime every year. You never see a BBW accept that award. You see the listing, but you never see them accept.
Oh,
Period. So it's kind of like, but nonetheless, you got nominated. How did it feel to be nominated as an AVN for AVN? Because regardless of the fact that how they treat BBW, it's still an honor to be nominated. How did it feel to be nominated, and how did you find out?
it felt good to be nominated. I think that was like the first time that I even realized that I had a fan base.
Mhm. You
So
didn't
it
realize
felt
you had a fan base.
not as not as big as we have it, I guess. No, it really I didn't think I had that big of a fan base. I thought it was just like FetLife stuff. I didn't actually realize I had fans until that
Mm.
situation happened, and I was like, oh shit.
so so once you became nominated, I mean, it's kind of like has things opened up more for you, or just been pretty much the same?
um, I think that's when a lot of people started seeing my name for the industry. I don't because I was nominated for Fetish, so then that.
Okay.
But I don't know. I think either it may have opened it up a little bit, but either I don't really think it changed much for me when I got nominated. More people just, yeah, it did. I don't know.
I think it did because you start popping up even more.
So yeah, I guess
More, yeah.
it did. It put me out there more than I was out there. It put me out more on Twitter because I didn't really have a Twitter. It was
Hmm.
there, but I was just throwing my party flyers on it. It wasn't for network. I didn't realize you networked on Twitter.
So, what made you decide to do the content parties? And part two of that question, explain what a content party is, because so that listeners can understand what that is.
All right. So what made me decide to do this is Mr. Mysterious again. He was the first one to invite me to a content party. No, Richard Mann. I went to Richard Mann's content party first. He
Hmm.
invited Mr. Nuts and Mr. Mysterious invited me over there, and I kind of viewed it. And to me, what looked like was going on was a fucking swingers party. So
Hmm.
then, about like maybe 2, 3 months later, Mr. Mysterious had party, and that's when my husband came to, and we were just watching. My husband looks at me and goes, "This is a fucking swingers party." I said, "Yes, I know. Just watch and be quiet." That's when my husband caught on. There was something else going on in my mind. I was trying to figure out how the content thing worked and what like all the steps to that, because he already
Hmm.
looked at it and was like, "That's a fucking swinger. We're at a swingers party," and I was like, "Yeah, I know." And then third content party went around, and I was talking to one of the other camera guys and the producer, and he was just showing him the pictures from my Fet Life and the parties and events. And like some shit went down because we got called on and we got kicked out of the Airbnb. We ended up at like a motel, and I was just looking around at how it all happened. It was a little unorganized, and I looked at the guy and I was like, I could do this fucking shit with my eyes closed.
Hmm.
So I ended up doing content party because I opened my mouth. So now I had to put my money where my mouth was and show these fucking producers and assholes out here that
This is
they're
how it's
throwing a
supposed to be
fucking
done.
that they're throwing a fucking swingers party with fucking cameras. The shit I've been doing on the East Coast for the last 10 years.
Which
The
is
only thing
funny.
I was missing, the only thing I was
Which
missing on the East Coast were the 2257 forms.
basically, because it was like to me, because I always wondered, okay, when you have all these talents, how in the fuck are you able to satisfy everybody's need for content?
Me?
Unless everybody's breaking off into sectors and filming themselves and
Oh,
film
okay.
and
So at the content parties, so what a content is a bunch of models, talents, producers get together and we all bring our own brand and we say, this is the type of scenes I'm looking for. They're looking for this scene, I'm looking for that scene. This person works with BBWs, this person's looking for black girls, this person's looking for anal, this person looking for pee, water sports, whatever. So usually about 16 to 30 of us get together in a house for 4 days and we shoot content. There's usually each talent gets two scenes a day and whatever extra, if you play an extra role in a scene, you get that too. So that's really what it is. And as Joey and I are watching this, we were realizing that's when I'm catching on that they're also fucking swingers or they don't know they're swingers. That's what some of these industry people don't know they're fucking swingers yet. And Joey and I are
actually,
telling each other, this is a fucking swingers party. They're getting tied up from ropes. That's what I do at my events in the dungeon. I was like, they're hosting a Princess Gemini event and they don't even fucking know it. So what I'm doing now is bringing them, the people, the talent, to show them they've been hosting a fucking swingers party all along. And here's how we're going to all do this together to make money and get content at the same time. So I have a whole new idea to throw at them. And I told my business plan to Richard Mann and he liked it. And he invited me to his event to host an event. I think a fetish event at his
yeah, I saw
event.
the flyer for it the other day. You were telling
Yeah.
me about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's coming to mine because he's been trying to get a swingers party on film for a while also.
Well, I might have to come to one of those events just for podcasting purposes, not for shooting purposes.
Yeah. Always welcome. Always welcome.
Yeah, because like I said, my thing of it is so is it just that they use that producer's camera, or do people go off and they might do their little own thing also?
So we have in the group of people, there's multiple camera guys.
Okay.
So an event, so it's content share. So there's a male and female producer, male and female talent in the room, plus a camera guy. All three of them get that content. And
Gotcha.
the house gets the content. And then everybody edits
That's
in a
what you said.
different way, and everybody has their own brand. So your fans are gonna buy your shit.
I get what you're
Their
saying.
fans are gonna buy their shit. So we've all got our own brands. So everybody's making money.
Yeah.
And
So because like I said, because I saw that Mr. Nuts been doing them for a while now. And I
yeah,
was like, he was getting some heavyweights coming through there. Most definitely. And so and I'm seeing that more people are trying to do the content party, because let's just be frank. The circle of porn star is really shrinking nowadays, because really people don't even want to be considered a porn star anymore.
right.
So it's
Yeah,
kind of like, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I would say that the content events that they're all doing, it's just content. There's people hanging out, but when I went and I was watching it, me as an event planner and a lifestyle, I'm looking at the behind the scenes where the models just hanging out by the pool, waiting to do their shoot. There's so much wasted time there that would have been useful for my shit if it was a swingers party. So that behind the
True.
scenes that you usually see me doing and like the boat ride, like that type of shit could have been going on at the content event. So now I'm going to take what I do on the East Coast and what they do here, put a twist to it. So for my event, instead of just content like they do, we're going to do slot like 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. is content time, models time, and then break, and 9 o'clock till 1:32 a.m. is a swingers party, and I'll film my swingers party. So everybody can be happy. And
now with the swing event, is the public allowed to attend, or is just going to be the
no.
content creators? Okay.
So because this is my first event that's only talent that I'm saying talent
Mm-hmm.
testing needs to be done for to get in the door. And
And
because
plus,
it's
ain't
my
nobody
first
gonna
event
put you on
mixing, huh?
condom. Ain't nobody gonna want to put on the condom after it's all said and done anyway. So shit makes sense.
Yeah. But the first event that it's talent tested, I didn't want to have a free for all walk in the door, especially
Yeah,
because I'm
true.
mixing. It's my first event mixing models and talents and producers involved with swingers. So this event, we actually handpicked the swingers. They
Mm-hmm.
were people that were good play friends of mine and my husband's, or regulars at parties and events, like Sapphire Bliss and like um
Mm-hmm.
what is her name? Georgia Peach, Stoner Peach on Twitter. Like they
Mm-hmm.
were all regular play partners with us, and they're coming out to help show the industry because I need the people that know how I do it here to help me show the industry how I like my shit done. Because I'm
Mm-hmm.
still trying to figure out where I fit in out here. And
Mm-hmm. Well, it's how you bringing something that's not in the industry to the industry. Meaning that you bring you first with her and it would mix both. So with that being that you're mixing both and it's being a first, um, what how big do you plan to make this? Takes as far as future events and stuff like that.
so this
Cause you sound like a
particular
woman that got a
event, hmm?
like a woman that got a plan. So go ahead.
Oh, I have a plan. My plan is because I got fucked over so bad on the East Coast with the swinger community. My plan is to have a
Yeah.
Princess Gemini club in Providence and a I'm about to take over the whole United States with my shit. That's my plan. I'm coming
You heard?
after the swingers. I'm gonna make it so they can't get in any club. One producer in particular, but my plan is to with this one. I have a goal in 2 years of renting out the artisan here in Las Vegas and doing a Princess Gemini Kinky Carnival. So
Mm.
we will have one floor that's all production. You can go make your fantasy reality with the industry, and then the
Mm.
swingers can have their floors, and then we'll have a foam. I have a whole idea planned. So, but it needs to start off slow. So this particular party, there's going to be 35 to 50 people involved, and it's going to be the filming of the party and the content is going to be used as promotion for future events. So I can build this up. Like
Mm.
Richard asked me to come to Georgia. I've never been to Georgia. I've been asked to go to Georgia or Atlanta, just in
Atlanta's
case.
popping. Atlanta
Yeah,
is
for
popping.
years I've been asked to go, and Richard was like, "I'm going to Atlanta. I'd like you to come."
Mm.
And I said, let me see if I can make it work. So Richard has heard my plan, so that means he liked it enough to ask me to go. And he doesn't really do BBWs, and he's including me. So
Yeah.
that means I got something going on here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Rick. If you know you a bad BBW, Richard shoot with you, or even do business with you. Period. So yeah, cause he's I kind of look up to him in many ways. Cause like I said, I did for meeting him face to face and talk to him on Fat Life, even on Twitter. He's a very cool and deep dude. I hope to have him on the podcast one day so we can
oh
really
yeah,
talk business.
he's really awesome. We haven't shot yet, but for him to invite me and include me, because he doesn't do BBWs that often, I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm grateful for this opportunity. And then what was I gonna say? There was something else I was gonna say. I forget. It went right through my head. Oh, it was about Fat Life and Richard. So
Mm-hmm.
before you and I even shot, I
Mm-hmm.
had people message me all the time. I read them. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I never really pay attention to who was messaging me. And then about a year ago, Richard commented on one of my pictures, like, "Oh shit, you're on Fat Life." He said, "Yeah." So I went back and looked at Richard's profile, and then it says that the view conversations. We had like 10 conversations all the way back for 5 years. Richard's been trying to get me out here for like 3, 4 years. And then Mysterious and I started shooting because Mysterious and Richard are really close.
Mm-hmm.
Mysterious and I started shooting like a year ago, and then he mentioned Richard and through Mysterious I met Richard. But it's funny that
Mm-hmm.
Richard was trying to get me out here that long that I just kind of blew him off and ignored him. I don't watch porn, so I don't know who was who. I just assumed he was a regular guy.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. So yeah, Mysterious. I've been following Mysterious too. He been putting in some work too. I can't even
Yeah,
front
he's
on
a
that.
really good
He's one
one.
of the
He's really
guys
good.
that yeah he pushes some good work, some real good work. I like good night. So with that being said, when you film for yourself, okay,
Mhm.
what inspiration do you pull from, and where you get your ideas from for the scenes that you shoot?
So here's where I have a problem. Most
Mhm,
of the scenes that I shot are really random, and my ideas just come off the top of my head, just randomly.
mhm,
I go in and I like when I shoot with Mysterious, we never have a plan. It's whatever. He knows I'm easygoing, and so one day he showed up with a clown suit, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll fuck a clown." So it was not planned. He just put a clown suit on, and I fucked a clown. So that was a part of the circus. He was doing a circus freaks thing, and I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." There is no plan ever with me.
mhm,
I just go with the flow. But the problem I have is everything is so planned out here and fake setting is that my husband and I have lived
mhm,
all these real fake settings. Like we've already taken bride and groom home on their wedding night and fucked them. But these
mhm,
people want me to pretend to do that. Like one particular scene, they're like, "Let's have a threesome." And it was a boy girl threesome. No, it was a why can't it was two guys and a girl threesome.
mhm,
And they came up to me and like, we're gonna pretend that we're on a date, it's a Friday night, and you're cheating on me and you didn't know that blah blah blah. You scheduled us at the same time, we showed up and we
mhm,
ended up having a threesome. So I looked at them and I was like, "So you mean a typical Friday night for me, right?" And they just
mhm.
laughed. Because and now that they're realizing, I think that's where they caught on, is it's like, I can do this. And I just put myself in a typical Friday night and there we go. But my problem is they want all this fake shit, and I've already lived it. So I'm trying to bring my parties to them, the real shit. So they're
Mhm.
actually in the middle of the real shit instead of trying to stage this fake fucking shit because it's so fucking boring. I'm bored out of my
Yeah,
mind.
because to be honest, it's like I was telling somebody when it comes to like BDSM scenes. If you don't live that life, people that live that life, they can smell that fake shit from a mile away.
So the BDSM scenes out here are slim to none, and that's the other thing. The community out here is slim to none. So I'm trying to bring that community out here. I know a
Mm-hmm.
few people from back home are already living out here, but they're saying the same thing. That type of kink scene is dead out here.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And you
no,
would think that it wouldn't be it there's Vegas.
no,
You, you,
it's
you,
right. It's fucking dead out here. It's weird, but I think part of it is with BDSM, you have to have trust and all that shit.
yeah,
Vegas is a tourist town, so you got people coming in and going, leaving.
yeah, true,
But
true.
if I can build that community here with the industry that comes out here all the time, it can work. And that's what I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to do. So I had some dominatrix coming to my event for the fetish
Mm-hmm.
nights introduced to the industry. I have shit to show them how to make this real because I'm putting a twist in all this shit.
I see. So I see that you're a person that knows how to expand their brand. So can you speak to my listeners the importance of expanding your brand as a person that's in this business?
Expanding my brand. For me, I'm a people watcher, and like how everybody's doing the OnlyFans thing, that's when I realized that the swingers right there doing the OnlyFans, that's where you go and grab them and help bring them in the right way. So you should be
Hmm.
looking for different opportunities like that to help it. Networking. I don't I don't really know how to expand. I do. But
you
you're
you
making
actually doing it without realizing, if you want to be honest. But go ahead.
I'm not I'm trying. This is where my husband and I have an issue. I'm told to put my business plan on a piece of paper and I can't do it, but I know it in my head.
Yeah, I would say
So
I figured you out. You the kind of person, you have your business plan in your head and you do it automatically without thinking.
right, it just
Because
happens naturally. Like literally, the plan to Las Vegas was not an actual. It was not planned. We came to Las Vegas to shoot. We liked it, and then we went home, got the kids, and came back.
yeah,
It. Thank God the universe was working in my favor here, but the
Yeah, I
stupid
remember you
fucking
told me, you said, yeah, we're moving to
system.
Vegas. I said, well, damn.
Well, I needed to get out of New England. The swinger community became very toxic. Like the other promoters, as I got higher in the industry, like I
Hmm.
got more fans. Everybody started knowing where people fans showed up at my house. Like,
Hmm.
and then the other producers, not the producers, the other promoters in the town, the industry. No, not the industry. In the swingers lifestyle, started getting
Hmm.
real nasty towards me too. Trying, they stole pictures from my husband's Facebook page and sold them
Damn.
to a blogger. Yeah, they sold them to a blogger, and they made a fake blog story about us. It got real. That's how we got outed, and we got
Damn.
outed in swingers and in the industry. My grandfather knocked on my door, handed me $1,000, and said, "Nikki, how come you didn't tell anybody you were having a hard time?" I looked at him and I was just like, "This is a hobby that my husband and I turned into
Hmm.
something."
Which is interesting because it's kind of crazy to me that in the day and age we are, how can people be so crude towards this lifestyle, period, when you're seeing it on TV every freaking day?
Right.
And you seeing even the celebrities now more open about how they indulge in it.
Right.
Yeah, you speak upon that.
Huh?
I want
Say
to hear
that.
your thoughts, man.
I didn't hear that last part.
No, see, I want to hear your thoughts upon what I just said. That how
Yeah, I
people are
didn't hear what you
still.
said. I heard the celebrities and then you cut
Oh
out.
yeah, yeah. No, I was saying that it's crazy how people are still kind of stuck with the old mindset in this day and age. Be it that it's kind of becoming more normalized now.
Right. I don't think people, I think even the people that are stuck in the mindset are real, they're publicly stuck in the mindset. They
Yeah,
don't want people to really know that they're open about it because they're going to get judged. And really,
yeah.
nobody should be judging anybody because everybody's got skeletons in their closet. So, but most people are more just on the first show, I think, and they're not ready to. Like, I was forced to be open about it because I didn't, because promoters from back home did what they did.
Which is crazy how cutthroat promoting and swinging is.
Do you want to hear what they did to me 2 weeks before I left Nevada?
Speak, speak your truth.
This will be you're the first person I'll tell it to. They called DSS on me because
Get the fuck.
DSS, no, they told DSS my oldest daughter was raped by a member of my party 2 weeks before I met. If you before we left to go to Nevada, if you guys hated me that much, why would you do something that's gonna keep me in the fucking state? Just let me fucking go.
Yeah,
DSS did their investigation. They talked to my daughter. They saw on her face, like my daughter was like, "What the fuck?" Like that never happened. They didn't even leave my driveway because they called the supervisor. And the supervisor, they came in, they called me and they said, "We're not even opening the case. We can tell this was a false claim, blah, 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 blah."
mm. And that's how
But
bad they
that's
wanted
how
your
bad,
butt up out of there.
yeah,
And that's how cutthroat they
that's how
are.
bad they
Damn.
treated me. That's one of the things they did to me. They did a lot of shit to me. Like the same promoter, when I
Hmm.
first got in, I was younger than her. I was about, I don't even know, maybe 25, whatever. But we were both BBWs, and I started hosting events. I pulled in BBWs and BBCs. She was older,
Hmm.
but her events were BBWs, BBCs. And then when she realized I played at a party, she doesn't play with men. She
Hmm.
came, locked me in a room with her man, and another man, locked another woman, locked Joey out of the room. I was like, "You want to play with me?" Didn't even ask. Started this whole thing. I said, "I'm not." And I never played separately. I said, "I'm not doing nothing with you. Let my husband back in the room." Let my
Hmm.
husband back in the room. While we're in the room, she had other people from her club go around, cut up mattresses, throw dirty
Damn.
condoms, cut up mattresses all over my club, throw up dirty condoms all over my club, and then they fucking left for me to clean it all up.
Damn.
Yeah, that's the type of shit I was dealing with, and felt like I was going crazy. So I came to Nevada, and life has just been so much better. I had to get away
I
from
can
all those
believe it
toxic
because
people.
if people doing all that shit, god dang, man, that is fucking crazy, yo. So I,
They were nasty and mean. The promoters back home played dirty. They were, I could go on for
That
days.
is crazy. That is fucking crazy, yo. But that shows you that no matter what industry you're in, there's always people that play dirty pool. There's
Right.
always jealousy. There's always hatred. There's always somebody that wants to bring you down.
I'm grateful for the lessons that the lifestyle promoters taught me, because I can take those lessons that they taught me and I can pick them up in the industry already. And I'm like, I'll stay the fuck away from you.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
pretty much.
they taught me some good lessons, the hurtful lessons, shit that fucking I had to heal from. But
Mhm.
they, I'm grateful for some of the shit they taught me. But karma will definitely
Yes.
come their way. Karma will definitely come their way, whether it's a wonderful Princess Gemini club in the middle of Providence or not.
And they can't do shit about it. And be
Nope.
trying and got to pay to get in
Right.
it. Got to pay to get in it. So, excuse me. That's a good weed. Excuse me. So, like I said, I got to wrap this up a little bit.
Okay.
Man, I really enjoyed talking to you, Miss Lady. For real, I
Thank
really
you.
have about this thing.
It's been a long
So,
time since
look,
we talked.
and I'm going to bring you back because there's a lot we did not touch on that I was
Okay.
wanted to touch on, but didn't have enough time. So, people, Miss Princess Gemini will be back to be a
I'm
guest
looking
on the
forward to
Smokers
it.
Guaranteed. So, shout out what you doing, what you got going on, your sites. Give everybody where they can find you and what's going on in the world in the business of Princess Gemini.
You can find me at princessgemini.com. You can find me on ManyVids, FetLife. I'm under Princess Gemini, and Princess Gemini everywhere. Twitter, ManyVids, Instagram, OnlyFans.
And
Everything.
tell them about your events you got coming up.
I have my first content event here in Las Vegas, June 5th through 8th. We have Richard Mann coming, Mr. Mysterious, Taylor Nicole, Rebel Rider. What else we got coming? We got Bella Love, Cameron Sky, Jada Vans. A lot of people coming.
Yeah, I see. It's very deep, very deep.
So
Most,
this was a test now. Now I don't have their pictures in front of me. I gotta remember their names. We got a lot of people.
see, this is a woman. This is what I was talking about. People taking this business seriously and making it a business, and taking your passion and making it your livelihood. This is what Princess Gemini is doing, ladies and gentlemen, and she's bringing something to the game that is different and unique. When she's talking about mixing swinging with porn, because yes, in the porn industry they want it separate, but even though be separate, they're not doing it separately. If you want to be honest, because behind closed doors, majority of stars are swingers. Am I
Right.
lying, Miss Gemini?
Nope.
They either swingers, they know it, or they swingers and they don't know it.
Right.
So
No, there are
even
some, you can tell, but there are a lot of females though. There are a lot of females that are vanilla. The BBWs, a lot of BBWs
yeah,
are like vanilla BBWs. They're out here to make their money, do their shit. Don't bother them. Don't get in their way. But there's a few I've grabbed from the BBW community that I could tell right away are kinky swingers. Like Babe West is coming. She's gonna be my go-go for my thing. She's a kinky
mm-hmm,
swinger. Mysterious right away. When first time I met him, I brought my suitcase. He said, "Bring some toys." So when talking to a kinky swinger, that means your BDSM shit. I brought my big suitcase full of whips and chains. And you could see it on his
mm-hmm,
face. He was never experienced that type of situation before. But he picked up a flogger, and I could tell. I was like, "That's you. That's who you are." And he felt it right away. And so I'm pulling them. Richard Mann's a fucking swinger. Mr. Nuts, I believe he's a swinger.
yeah,
But they're all swingers. And I'm
yeah. And
but
as a part, as much as they try to keep it separate from the business, it is actually in the business, whether they like it or not.
right. They may not know it yet. Well,
But they
Mysterious
will.
he came in as a swinger. And I believe Mr. Not Mr. Mr. was a swinger. But
Mhm.
some of them I can tell right away. Or I'll be in the middle of a scene and the camera guy will hear it all the time. I'll ask the girl, "Are you a swinger? Do you go? You and a girl fuck? You guys swap?" And one of them will be like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And then I'll hit them up. That's how I found the people that I'd be able to make this event with. I straight up asked them, "What are you guys into? You guys swingers?" "Oh no, me and my man and swingers. This is just work." Okay, but normally I can pick them out a mile away.
Hmm. That is so true. So, yeah, I got to close this out and do my normal closing. So, like I said, I enjoyed you. I'm going to have to bring you back because I see me and you on an episode of Smokers Lounge is going to be gold because we have to talk about, and me, I like the way we bounce off each other. So, life is a learning experience. What's the point of the experience? You haven't learned anything. Smoke that over. Thank you for coming through, Princess Gemini.
Thank you for having me.
No doubt.